Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driving Insights Podcast by M5 Management Services, where we cover ways for your fixed operations department to gain efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. I'm your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager at M5 Management Services, and on today's show, we'll talk about how dealerships can implement expanded service hours through creative scheduling to meet rising customer demand for late evening and weekend availability without overworking technicians and advisors. So, buckle up. You're listening to Driving Insights. So in today's highly competitive auto industry, customer retention is an absolute critical factor for car dealerships to stay profitable. With so many choices out there, from independent repair shops to big chains like Firestone, Midas, and Jiffy Lube, customers have more options than ever when it comes to maintaining and repairing their vehicles. Not to mention the growing number of online booking platforms that make it easy for customers to compare prices and book appointments at their shop of choice. The days of customers automatically bringing their car to the dealership are long gone, but now more than ever, dealerships need to focus on service retention and satisfaction to earn that repeat business. If a customer has a bad experience at your dealership, such as long wait times, inability to get a timely appointment, feeling rushed or unfriendly staff, or even poor work quality, they can easily take their business elsewhere. And with review sites like Yelp and DealerRater, one bad review can influence a lot of potential customers. Your service department is a major driver of overall customer satisfaction and retention for your dealership. Declining loyalty or losing service customers to competitors is a clear sign that your hours of operation are not meeting customers' needs and expectations. In today's world, customers expect and demand more convenient service hours. Many customers need to be able to drop their car off early before work or pick it up in the evening after work. Retail stores and other businesses have adapted to offer more customer-friendly hours, and dealerships really need to follow suit if they want to retain service customers. The bottom line is that in such a competitive landscape, dealerships simply can't afford to overlook or minimize the importance of service retention. Taking a close look at your hours of operation and evaluating ways to better accommodate your customers' scheduling needs could make a huge difference in keeping their repeat business. But the first step in determining whether implementing extended service hours makes sense for your dealership is to thoroughly analyze and see if there truly is a need and demand for it. You don't want to make drastic scheduling changes and disrupt your staff unnecessarily without data showing it will actually benefit your customers. So start by looking at your current demand versus your shop's actual capacity. Are you constantly booking out appointments far in advance? Are you having to turn customers away because you're overloaded? Do you have a backlog of vehicles waiting for service? If so, this indicates there's probably more customer demand than your current hours and staffing can really handle. Next, directly survey your customers through mailers, website polls, and focus groups. Ask them specifically if having more available service appointments in the evenings or weekends would increase the likelihood of them using your dealership. The feedback that you get from the customers will tell you if expanded hours would improve retention. Additionally, research when your competitors are open. If other shops and dealers in your area are open late and on weekends, there's probably a similar expectation from your customer base. Taking the time to thoroughly analyze capacity restraints, customer feedback, and competitor hours will give you the data that you need to determine if expanded hours are truly warranted and would provide a return on investment for your dealership. Start by looking at your shop utilization metrics. How far out are you booking routine maintenance and repair appointments? Are customers having to wait days or even weeks to get in? Are you frequently turning customers away because you're entirely booked up? Do you have a continual backlog of vehicles in your service drive waiting to get in? Also, look at the number of carryovers you have each day. For every 4 to 5 jobs that your technicians can't get to and have to carry over to time constraints, that's a sign you may be overloaded. Also analyze the work mix coming in. If routine maintenance and minor repairs are decreasing as a percentage of your business, it likely means your shop doesn't have the capacity to take care of those faster turnaround services, and customers are probably seeking out other options. If your techs are consistently booked up, you have long wait times for appointments, high carryovers, and aren't able to properly handle quick maintenance items, that points to your current hours and staffing not being sufficient enough to meet customer demand. And in that case, implementing extended service hours could help increase your service capacity and volume. The key is analyzing the data to make sure there's truly excess demand before making major changes. One of the most direct ways to gauge whether expanded service hours would improve retention is to simply ask your customers. Surveying current and past customers through mailers, website polls, email campaigns, and even focus groups can provide valuable insights into their needs and preferences. You want to ask them questions like, would being open for service appointments on weekday evenings improve the chance of you using our dealership? Would weekend availability for service make you more likely to get your vehicle serviced with us? If we offered service hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, how likely would you be to have your vehicle serviced here? The feedback that you get will tell you definitely if lack of availability during certain hours is driving customers away or even making them less loyal. It may show you that being open at 7 a.m. for early drop-offs or staying open until 6 or 7 p.m. would dramatically boost retention. Or even that Saturday hours are in high demand. Follow up the surveys with customer focus groups. Bring in, say, 10 to 20 customers, offer them lunch or dinner or something, and openly discuss their wants and needs regarding service hours. Let them tell you when is most convenient for them and what offering hours outside of the typical 8 to 5 Monday through Friday would mean for their customer loyalty. The direct customer feedback collected through surveys and in-person focus groups will then provide the clearest picture of how expanded service hours could improve retention and meet their demands. It's important to research what service hours your local competitors offer. If other shops and dealers in your area are open late on Saturdays or even Sundays, there's likely similar expectations from your own customer base. Customers will seek out and flock to the most convenient service options. Drive by or check the websites and social media of local independent repair shops like Midas, Firestone, Goodyear, and other chains, as well as other dealerships. See what days and hours they're open. How late are they open on weekdays? How many operate on Saturdays? Are any of them even open on Sundays? Also check review sites like Yelp and Google to see what customers say about the competitors' hours. Look for those comments about convenience, ability to drop off early or pick up late, weekend availability, etc. If extended hours are important to those shops' customers, they'll also be important to your own customer base. If other shops in your market are open well into the evening and on weekends, but your dealership still operates on a strict Monday through Friday 8 to 5 schedule, you can bet customers looking for more convenient service hours will defect to those other options. Matching or exceeding your competitors' hours could be the key to retaining and attracting service customers. Researching service hours offered by other shops and dealerships in your area will give you a benchmark to know what hours you may need to offer in order to be competitive and meet customer demand. If competitors are open late and on weekends, your customers will expect the same from you. If your analysis clearly shows customer demand and need for more convenient service hours, there's options dealerships can implement without overworking technicians and other staff. The key is being creative with scheduling and involving your team in coming up with solutions. Some options to consider are shifting schedules, so some staff work earlier and some work later to expand your operating window. You can add an evening or a night shift specifically for internal work like prepping or inspecting vehicles. Implementing schedule types like 410s or 313s can help you cover weekends without excessive overtime. And with these compressed schedules, staff work longer days but fewer days per week. And that type of schedule may be enticing to some folks. You can also stagger start and end times. Some staff could start at, say, 7 a.m. and others at 10 a.m. Some could end at 5 p.m. and others, say, at 8 p.m. This stretches coverage without requiring everyone to work late. And you can get really creative and combine approaches based on what your dealership needs. For example, a split shift schedule during the week, a full Saturday shift, even a small Sunday crew. The goal should be providing the hours customers demand while designing schedules and teams to avoid burning out your employees. With proper planning and buy-in, extended hours can be a win for both customers and staff, and involving your team directly in brainstorming solutions helps obtain that critical buy-in. Now, if you need help getting creative with schedules, contact us at www.m5ms.com. Our consultant team have seen it all when it comes to schedules, and we can definitely help plan yours out with you. One approach to provide expanded service hours without exhausting employees is to strategically shift schedules so you have different teams working at different times. Say, for example, you could split your technicians into early and late shifts. The early crew might work from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the late crew from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. And you'd need advisors and parts staff and management on both shifts, obviously, as well. And another option is having some staff consistently work Monday through Friday and a different set work Saturdays or even Sundays. Those working weekends could have their weekday schedules adjusted to maintain a 40-hour work week. You can also stagger weekday start times and end times, as mentioned earlier. Some staff are on an early 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. schedule. Others could go 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Get creative with mixing and matching shifts and schedules to provide maximum coverage for customers without requiring 12-hour days or 6-day weeks for individuals. Make sure shifts are equitable in workload and hours too. And this is critical. Allow input from your staffs on scheduling. They may actually have some really great ideas. The key is looking at the hours you want to cover and dividing up the responsibility across multiple rotating shifts and schedules. With the right planning, you can expand hours while respecting that critical work-life balance for employees. Another approach to extended service hours is to add a dedicated night shift focused specifically on internal dealership work. This allows you to expand operating hours later into the evening without necessarily needing full staff. A night shift of technicians supervised by a lead tech or foreman could be scheduled from, say, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Their responsibilities would include things like prepping and inspecting new inventory vehicles, inspecting newly acquired used vehicle trade-ins, performing routine maintenance on dealership loaner vehicles, completing internal repairs authorized that day but not finished by the day staff, performing multi-point vehicle inspections, maybe even processing warranty and policy work. By utilizing the evening hours for internal work, the night shift expands your operating window for customer drop-offs and pickups until close while avoiding overtime for daytime staff. A night shift allows work to be completed on dealership vehicles without taking up prime daytime service capacity. This helps increase throughput and revenue during regular operating hours. It's an efficient way to extend hours without doubling your entire staff. A limited night crew focused on internal work can provide a lot of flexibility and capacity expansion after hours or while the day shift isn't there. Implementing alternative schedules like 410s or even 313s can be a very effective strategy for dealerships to provide expanded service hours without demanding excessive overtime or weekend shifts from their staff. The core idea behind these compressed work weeks is that employees work longer days, but in exchange receive more days off per week. So, for example, a 4-10 schedule. Technicians would cover 4 10-hour shifts instead of the traditional 5 8-hour days. This allows the flexibility to cover more operating hours or weekend shifts while giving technicians 3 days off each week. The 10-hour days certainly make for longer shifts, but having a third weekend day free from work is a nice benefit that helps attract skilled technicians. Taking that compressed week even further, a 313 schedule has technicians working just 3 13-hour days per week. So in exchange for 3 very long days, they receive a nice 4-day break to rest and recharge and spend with family. Now, for these types of compressed shifts to work long-term without burning out staff, it's crucial to rotate teams appropriately across the schedule. For example, Team A works Monday through Wednesday, while Team B covers Thursday through Saturday. On Sunday, they swap. This rotation ensures no one is stuck with that 13-hour day for months on end. Dealerships can also blend compressed shifts with regular 40-hour staff to achieve complete hourly coverage goals. For example, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. staff all week, a 410 crew from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays to allow for early drop-offs, and a small 313 weekend skeleton team. Creative shift staffing using schedules like 410s and 313s give employees a nice work-life balance while allowing dealers to obtain those longer operating hours to best serve customers. The long days can be draining if not managed properly, but liberal shift rotations are key to preventing burnout. But when structured well, compressed weeks enable attractive tech benefits without overhiring. Another option for extended service hours is to implement staggered technician start and end times. Rather than having all staff come in and leave at the exact same time, you have some variance in shifts people are scheduled. For example, some technicians would still maintain a typical 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule. However, you could also have some scheduled from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., others 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and maybe even a group 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. By staggering start and end times in this manner, you effectively expand your total coverage from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. without having any singular employees working 11-hour shifts or coming in excessively early or staying late. This can help capture customers looking for quick early morning drop-offs before they go to work, as well as allowing after-work pickups. You also want to be cognizant of equity in work times between groups and allow input from staff on preferred hours within reason, of course. No one wants to feel like they always get stuck with the least desirable hours while peers get prime times. With strong organization, effective communication of schedules, and a strong customer-centric approach, staggering start and end times enables expanded hours without unwanted overtime or weekends. Dealerships can get very creative in how they combine multiple approaches to provide optimal service coverage. Mind you, there's no one-size-fits-all solution, but the best practice is to mix and match elements from different extended hour models to craft a custom schedule that truly fits your shop's needs. For example, you can utilize a split shift on weekdays to allow for early morning and evening appointments, keep straight 8-hour technicians on Saturday, and even implement a small 313 compressed shift team to provide basic coverage on Sundays. Or perhaps stagger start times during the week along with a Monday through Thursday 410 schedule for some techs and a Thursday through Sunday 313 schedule for others. This allows you to cover from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays and maintain weekend hours without excessive individual schedules. Analyze the hours you need to cover, service capacity required during different windows, and your team's bandwidth to work non-traditional shifts. Then blend those methodologies like shifting teams, bringing on night crews, using compressed weeks for some staff, and more to build schedules uniquely catered to your dealership. Customizing the right extended hour approach for your specific shop may take some work, but the payoff of sustainably meeting customer demand through a mix of flexible schedules can be huge. Work with your team, get creative, and implement a combination model that takes into account multiple factors. When making major changes to staff schedules, like implementing extended service hours, it's crucial that dealerships involve frontline employees in the process rather than dictating changes from the top down. Technicians and advisors will be directly impacted, so getting their input and buy-in is the key to success. Start by communicating broadly why changes may be needed, pointing to concrete analytics on shop capacity and customer demand. Share competitive research indicating that customers want extended availability. Transparency sets the stage. For larger shops, put together a committee or focus group of advisors and techs from all skill levels and review potential schedules and options. Solicit direct feedback on what they think would work well or not, and incorporate their ideas and address any concerns. Run shift schedule possibilities by the whole team and allow employees to express preferences for types of schedules that fit their life obligations outside of work. Show that you aim to offer flexibility and understand not every shift works for every person. When specific schedule changes are finalized, explain the rationale behind placement decisions. Set clear expectations about new hours, responsibilities, and contingencies. And during implementation, regularly check in with staff to address any issues in real time. Refine all of this based off of lessons learned and staff input. Giving staff an active role and listening to worries builds trust in leadership decisions. Extended hours only work long-term if employees understand the needs driving the change, have say in the solution, and feel supported throughout the process. Involving them directly also taps innovative ideas you might miss. Getting buy-in up front through participation ensures a smoother transition. An added benefit of implementing extended or flexible service hours is it can greatly improve shop space utilization and reduce facility capacity constraints. By staggering shifts or having alternating teams with scheduled handoffs, you can effectively double up technicians in service bays that would otherwise sit empty outside of normal business hours. For example, running a regular day shift from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and an evening shift from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. essentially allows you to slot 2 techs per bay on a rotating basis. Rather than needing 1 lift per employee, you can share spaces across shifts. The same goes for opening on weekends or adding overnight crews. This enhanced shop utilization gets even more impactful when using compressed shift schedules like 313s or 410s. With teams working longer days but fewer weekly days, you need fewer total bays to house more total technicians. You may even be able to support 10 technicians with just 5 or 6 bays. The flexibility of extended hours also means some technicians can be scheduled off-site for mobile repairs as teams rotate through the shop. Taking work to the customer when feasible optimizes on-site capacity as well. As customer demand grows but construction costs and shop spatial footprints limit physical expansion, strategic extended hours enables dealers to do more with less physical overhead. It's a win-win for utilizing precious shop real estate. Once a dealership decides to expand service hours, it's crucially important that marketing actively promotes the new hours and availabilities to customers. You want the whole community to be aware. This ensures customers take advantage of the additional convenience and streamlines usage of the new operating windows. Send mailers and emails to existing customers announcing the change in hours. Emphasize the customer-friendly benefits: early morning drop-offs before work, late evening pickups after hours, weekend availability to fit busy family schedules. Update your website, social channels, and any online directory listings to showcase the updated hours. Place eye-catching signs around your service drive and waiting areas. Change voicemails and hold messages to mention the new hours as well. Train any phone staff, such as service advisors in your BDC, to proactively inform callers of the expanded options. And update any online booking platform with the new hours as well. Run social media ads showcasing the extended hours aimed at drawing in new local customers seeking flexibility and convenience, and adjust search engine marketing accordingly. Prominently advertising your expanded dealer service options builds awareness locally and cements your dealership as one focused on customer needs when it comes to maintenance and repairs. Don't keep your hours a secret. Promote them widely so current and prospective customers can fully utilize the additional availability and choose your service department based in part on that convenience. Implementing extended service hours is a major decision for any dealership, but doing so strategically based on data and with the involvement of your team can make it a huge win for both customers and employees. The reality is that customer expectations have changed. People want more flexibility and convenience when it comes to getting their vehicle serviced. Dealerships that don't adapt risk losing market share to competitors that are more responsive to the demand. Yet, you don't want to arbitrarily extend hours in a way that overburdens technicians and advisors. The key is careful analysis of true local demand along with creative shift scheduling to provide needed coverage without excessive individual impacts. Getting staff input up front, allowing employees flexibility to work schedules that fit their life outside of work, having proper shift rotations, and hiring support roles for partial coverage windows. These are all types of strategic decisions that can alleviate pressure while satisfying customers. With innovative thinking and collaboration, expanded operating hours enable dealerships to deliver on convenience while respecting work-life balance. That builds a loyal customer base who loves your easily accessible service as much as staff who feel empowered by and rewarded for the flexibility. When done thoughtfully, expanding hours can absolutely achieve that win-win for all stakeholders. This really comes down to the fact that dealerships today need to meet customer demand for more convenient service hours, whether that's early morning, late evening, or weekend availability. The competitive landscape and consumer expectations now require that level of flexibility. Yet no dealership wants to arbitrarily extend hours without good reason or in a way that overworks technicians or advisors. So the key is using data to determine true demand in your market, involving your team to create workable schedules and committing to continuous improvement. Analyze your capacity versus customer demand, survey your clientele, research your competition's hours, and objectively evaluate if expanded hours would increase retention. If so, engage staff in process improvements and schedule changes that work for them while serving customers. Empower them to ideate creative ideas. Implement shifts, rotation cycles, compressed weeks, night crews, and more in a strategic fashion that provides the coverage customers want without asking for 70-hour work weeks for staff. Support employees along the way and adjust based on feedback. By determining customer needs, taking an employee-focused approach, and finding that perfect blend of solutions for your individual dealership, you can truly achieve excellent service availability without overworking already hard-working team members. And that's exactly the win-win situation a dealership needs to thrive in the modern, highly competitive service industry. And like I said before, if you need help with designing your extended hours schedule, contact us at M5. Our consultants have deep experience with coming up with insanely creative ways to schedule staff to fit unique needs. Now, before we go, we've got another homework assignment for you. We've created a 10-point action list for you to explore how your dealership can get into extended hours. It's available in the show notes and on our website, www.m5ms.com, under the Driving Insights section. You'll see the episode list and a link to download the action list. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening. I've been your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager at M5 Management Services. As always, if you have any questions or topic suggestions, or may be interested in how M5 could help your fixed operations department, please contact us on our website, www.m5ms.com. Make sure to tune in next time, where we'll talk about more industry topics that will help drive your fixed operations department to increased efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. Thank you, everyone. This has been Driving Insights. Remember Rose? Well, it's back and better than ever. Introducing Rose Plus, the ultimate service department power tool that revolutionizes your repair order analysis. No more paper surveys or endless spreadsheets. With Rose Plus, you get a 360-degree view of your service department, uncover hidden sales opportunities, and track technician performance all in real time. Seamlessly integrate with your existing DMS, import data effortlessly, and share reports securely. Boost sales, optimize discounts, and improve customer satisfaction with Rose Plus. Upgrade to Rose Plus today and watch your service department bloom with success. Log on to m5ms.com for more info. Boost your dealership success with M5 University, your key to automotive excellence. Our expert design curriculum empowers every team member, from service advisors to porters, with communication skills and confidence. It's not just training, it's an investment in your dealership's future, driving customer satisfaction and profit growth. Log on to m5ms.com today and unlock your team's potential with M5 University.